FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
The governor of Indiana speaking in February to the Conservative Political Action Conservative Political Action Conference, quote, "The American project is menaced by a survival-level threat. We face an enemy lethal to liberty and even more implacable than those America has faced before. We cannot deter it. We cannot negotiate with it. It is the new Red Menace."
Well, maybe it's overheated, and I hope, by the way, that I'm wrong. I hope the point is exaggerated.
Whatever it is, you got the nation's attention. The press really responded.
I keep hoping that someone wise will come up and say, "Now, Mitch, wait a minute. You've overlooked this or this or this. This is this problem of debts piling up to levels, the sort of Greece-like levels, or in prospect out there, is nothing to worry about. It's going to work out for the following reasons." I haven't found that person yet. You know, Peter, my view is, and I think I said it in that talk, I've said it frequently, this is not, to me, at bottom, a philosophical argument. It's an arithmetic one. And so I say to people who believe in a lot bigger government, more intrusive government than I do, let's have that debate tomorrow. For tonight, can we agree that the mathematics does not work here? The machine will go tilt, and we'll all pay a terrible price, regardless of our...
When you say...
Yeah.
Here's what's in my back of my mind. Back of my mind is George W. Bush. You were back home in Indiana by this point, but George W. Bush devoted more or less the first 18 months, almost 2 years of his second term, to talking about the danger of Social Security going bankrupt. It was going to go bankrupt in some X number of years out, and he got nowhere.
Yeah.
And so, as a layman watching all this happen, I assume that one reason he got nowhere was that it did all seem so far out and so abstract. How do you make concrete to people what's going to happen? You talk about a survival level threat.
Yeah.
What actually will go wrong, and when will it start to go wrong? When will we feel it?
It could happen gradually, but it also could happen all at once and fairly soon. There's a great little line from Hemingway that people have been exhuming lately, where the characters ask, "How'd you go broke?" And he said, "2 ways, gradually and all at once." You can't exclude, I hope this is remote, but you can't exclude that there'd be a sudden run on the dollar, loss of confidence, a la Lehman Brothers, for instance.
Right.
And in a wired world, this thing could happen very, very
You could have
quickly.
a meltdown that would make the meltdown of 2008 look minor.
Sure, but let's just exclude that for a moment.
All right.
It is there. I don't know at this point of anybody, regardless again their view of political philosophy, who believes that you can run any enterprise, private, public, small, large, with the kind of debt levels that we're headed for with absolute certainty. Sooner or later, your creditors run you. And so, there's all sorts of evidence that we'll have a permanently stunted economy, that the American dream of upward mobility, of one's children doing better than you did, will perish. And that'll lead, I think, to a loss of liberty. It'll certainly lead to a loss of influence in the world. It'll lead to much less national security than we probably really want to have. And so I think it's a problem we all share, whatever our differences on other questions.